Good. Dean, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to see you, Dean. Oh my God.
Point is, you're not going to be Trump, and all the money you're wasting could go to better causes.
Because I represent science. Take a look what happened. You should see the light from the ground of the king, the king of the night.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal.
Top shareholders of all of these corporations are Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, the big three. Doesn't matter how many different companies you look at in all of the different parts of our lives.
And there's an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. We will do whatever we need to do to make sure that there's enough cash in the banking system. And there's an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Well, hello out there, mateys. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube. It's being super YouTube-y. So I had another live stream set up, and I did everything correctly with Restream, and for whatever reason, YouTube was like, oh, no, fuck you, it's not going to work over there. This is exactly why automated shit, which we're about to get into, won't ever work. Will never work. Everything was set up perfectly. I've done this a million times, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work. This is the problem. This is the problem with automated devices, drones, AI, all of that crap. The other day I was making an image with AI, and I was trying to make like image of the Chicago skyline, right? But like more cyberpunky. And for whatever reason, they put a black chick's face hovering over the city. What the fuck, AI? Why is there a black chick in the middle of my picture? Where did that come from? This is what I'm saying. So this stream is going to be me bitching about where the world is headed. I asked earlier on Twitter, and people were like, oh, should I do a STWT video? Should I do a Meme Wars video? Should I do... I forget what else. And people voted for Drone Wars and Meme Wars equally. So I started setting up for the Drone Wars episode. And then more people voted. And they were like, oh, we want Meme Wars now. So you get Drone Wars, because it was tied when I started setting up. And I already had all these show notes ready to go. I've been accumulating all of this stuff about unmanned technology, and it's really it's fascinating to me. Anyone who watches this tonight is going to be like, holy shit, this is really getting out of hand. Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that you might read about in the Bible, where it's like the mosquito bug things came out of the ground and had the power to sting people like scorpions. This is what we're getting into. It's absolutely insane. They're automating everything, putting lasers on everything, even frickin' dolphins or sharks or whatever. It's got it completely out of hand. So with that being said, let's get into the stuff I wanted to show you guys, because there's quite a bit here. So this is me. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been live, so I'm getting back into it here a little bit tonight, everyone. So yes, Drone Wars. And you can see I made this little AI image here. You got the laser weapons, the drones, the city on fire, and this new stealth bomber called the X-45A, which is basically a B-2 bomber, but it has no people on board. So it's completely stealth. It can fly at unbelievable speeds and height, and it can carry on board nuclear weapons. And it's completely unmanned. So one of the things that people have been talking about recently is the potential that Charlie in Charge was taken out by slaughter bots and not by a sniper at all. So that's one thing that, who knows, because the exit wound that we've been shown is certainly not that of a 30-06 round, and it would indicate that the shot came from a different direction, unless it was something other than a bullet that killed him. So was it a slaughter bot that did this? And here's a trailer of this movie called Slaughterbots that was in part funded by Elon Musk, of all people. So this is just the trailer. There's an entire movie to this. And yes, this is fictional, and the rest of what I'm going to show you tonight is not. But this is where things are going.
Pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. And just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. They can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy.
You can see high windows, very small, precisely punctured to gain entry to the building.
A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city.
Legislation would be useless against the so-called slaughter bots.
Just to stay away from crowds.
We are thinking big. They cannot be stopped. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
And with them sending all your data now over to Israel and all of that kind of stuff, like, it makes it even more worrisome, right? Now, let's get into some of the absolutely crazy technology that has been... Yeah, I know, it's old stuff. This is just an intro into what's going on. And obviously, Howard, like, they must have advanced the technology well past that. If that's what they're willing to show you, we all know that they're far beyond what they show us in public. Now, Russia RU Special Forces Group Nomad showed off their combat laser for the first time. They claim, and the video looks to confirm, to have taken down a Ukrainian drone at distance of a couple hundred meters. Given the increased frequency of drone strikes, if this technology matures, it will quickly become a key piece of everyone's air defenses. Right? So, look here. Zoom in. Punching holes right through metal. Nailing a drone at distance. The speed of light. And it's not just the Russians investing in this kind of stuff. The U.S. military officially wants... Let's see if I can zoom out on this. Its Golden Dome missile shield, a joint laser weapon system, is in the works to defend the U.S. against cruise missile threats. More than 40 years ago, after President Ronald Reagan promised Americans a space-based laser shield straight out of Star Wars, the end of the era nuclear brinkmanship, the United States is finally getting its directed energy missile defense, sort of, as if they didn't already have this. The Reagan project, the Star Wars project, never went away. They completely finished that with companies like General Atomics, for instance, and they've had that directed energy weapon system in space. This is what you call disclosure of that type of stuff to the public. Right? Oh yeah, now we want our Golden Dome missile shield. Turns out we've had that the whole time. So if you go over here to this journal, verify I'm human. Yes, I'm not AI. I am a human. We're here to see. Romania buys Israeli missile system in $2 billion defense deal. So you look here, Rafael and Spider missile defense system. Rafael, the guy's connected in my Jeffrey Epstein documentary to that whole ring. These guys are now selling $2 billion worth of this missile defense system to Romania, which is just there near Ukraine and all that other stuff going on. But once again, the Israelis are one of the largest defense contractors in the world as a nation, and they sell all types of stuff to all types of countries, including China, and obviously now Romania, and the United States, because we want their crap, right? So this guy here, Pentagon just handed American drone startups a $1 billion golden ticket, okay? On July 10th, SecDef dropped a memo that changes everything for drone manufacturers. Combined with Trump's June 6 executive order, we're witnessing the most radical shift in defense procurement since World War II. Here's what happened. The Pentagon ripped up years of red tape that kept innovative companies out of defense contracts. Now they're treating small drones under 55 pounds like ammunition. Expendable, mass-produced, urgently needed. The numbers are staggering. Even Army Squad gets attack drones by FY 2026. Production target, millions of units annually. Weaponization approvals cut down from years to 30 days. Battery certifications down to 1 week. For companies eyeing this opportunity, here's your roadmap. No Chinese components, right? You're not allowed to build anything out of China crap. That's like a whole new thing. It's brand new in the defense industry, and it's across the defense industry. Nothing has screamed, we're going to war with China, more than the fact that the military is no longer willing to accept anything with any Chinese, stuff in there at all. This is, no one pays attention to this stuff, but this is how you know they're building up for war, and not any kind of war, drone war against China, right? We need mass production of drones. This is what they've learned from the war in Ukraine. And anyone that says the war in Ukraine was a build-up to greater, bigger war is 100% correct. So security of defense is buying these things. They're using more and more laser weaponry. So they told us for years that, oh, you're crazy if you thought directed energy weapon systems were even a thing. I mean, how dare you even suggest that these had anything to do with a certain event in September? But now they're being put on everything. They're being put on absolutely every platform. They're being used for drone warfare. All of this stuff. The Royal Navy's Dragonfire laser weapon downs 30 drones in trial. The UK's 50 kilowatt laser weapon system is inching closer to deployment amid rising investment in directed energy. Yep, that's right. Directed energy weapon systems are a thing. They have been for a long time. Once again, this is disclosure to the public. Good luck outproducing China. That's a very good point. I don't even know if we'll be able to. Who knows? The fact that you now have drone warfare and drones are now killing more people than anything, production and mass production of cheap little drones is now how you win wars. It's completely changed everything. But that's why you need directed energy weapon systems that can shoot down massive amounts of drones in a very small amount of time. Without needing ammo, right? Oh, I need to sign in to show you guys the full articles, but it doesn't matter, the laser wars stuff. I'm just showing you guys pretty much the summary there. Gives you all that you need. So you can see here from NATO Maritime Command, right? HMS De Ruyter, as part of Standing NATO Maritime Group 1, SNMNG, successfully launched a live evolved Sea Sparrow missile at a drone target. The launch took place at a training range off the coast of Scotland. Unlike simulated launches, this live fire operation tested the crew's skills and validated combat readiness of both personnel and systems. You can see they're gearing up 100% for drone warfare. There goes Sea Sparrow missile. Yes, it is pretty badass, but also this is the way the world is going. So just so you know, we're going to fully automated, fully drone warfare. Continuing evolution of drone wars. TTPs. For months, we have seen drones park and wait for a target to appear before popping up and striking it. Now those drones are being hunted and attacked. So one of the things that was going on was drones would just sit there and wait on the ground for a target to appear. Then they pop up and attack the target. Things out. They're finding drones just parked and waiting. It's drone on drone warfare. That's what's going on here. This is definitely stuff out of the the like Bible or something. You see here, NATO testing Baltic Sea drones to track Russian warships and freighters. So they have these sea drones, these sail drone things that are absolutely incredible. I've seen these in person. These things can sail right into the heart of a hurricane and have done so. I mean, they're completely autonomous. They sail around. They're doing coastal, all types of coastal security for various NATO countries now. So these things are like, you know, U.S.-based sail drone deployed a handful of unmanned surface vessels as part of NATO's Task Force X demonstration in the Baltic Sea, which helped detect and track Russian Shadow Fleet vessels operating in the area, according to the company. Last year, Task Force X is led by NATO's Allied Command Transformation Act. This is a group that is transforming NATO into drones. So they've been like tasked with turning all of the stuff that NATO does into doing it by drone. That's what the Allied Command Transformation is. And it's incredible. Like, I follow what they do all the time. They're coming up with all types of new technology. They just the other day did the first by this company called Kraken. They just did the first deployment of like gear and ammunition and all that kind of stuff to a U.S. naval ship by an unmanned surface vehicle. I mean, there's more, people don't know this, but there's more unmanned drones in the ocean than there are in the air by a lot. They've been doing this stuff since like around the time they found the Titanic in the ocean, right? Because that proved to them by using ROVs that you could, you know, do all this stuff in the ocean without anyone on board, right? So long gone are the days of, what was that, Periscope Down, where all the submariners had to be really quiet on board. There's no more submariners on board to keep quiet, right? It's all unmanned vehicles and things now. Russia showed off its version of an unmanned naval attack drone during its recent Baltic Fleet exercises. Ukraine has used and continues to use these systems as an integral part of their Black Sea strategy, and they've been quite effective. If Russia starts building up an unmanned attack drones in the Baltic, it will force European countries to rethink shipping and port security. So you can see here, this is the result of one of these unmanned suicide drones hitting a very large vessel. I mean, obviously you can see the problem here for aircraft carriers, other ships of that size, when all it takes is one suicide boat making it to your vessel and then down goes your aircraft carrier. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the likes and stuff. I really do appreciate it. I feel like this is important information. And you got to remember, all of this stuff, as I talked about in the Epstein documentary, runs on Microsoft operating systems. So, a certain small country in the Middle East has backdoor access to this stuff on both sides. The Russian stuff, the American stuff, the Chinese stuff. The more and more we become dependent on this kind of stuff, the more and more that hands over control to a very small country in the Middle East. So you can see here, Beijing has been trying to scare everyone with nuclear warfare again. And this once again harkens back to stuff that you see in the Bible. One of the movies we might do a review of soon is called Threads, which is a 1984 movie about nuclear warfare and the fallout in the United Kingdom. And when you look at the description of the end times, and you look at, description of like wormwood and these other things, it does sort of harken to nuclear warfare taking place. So these kinds of things are not good. No one wins in a nuclear war. So you can see here, they have these, China state television put a rare public focus on Beijing's DF-5B intercontinental ballistic missile earlier this month, revealing key details that mark a significant shift in Beijing's nuclear messaging amid rising global tensions and in the midst of unraveling key arms control agreements. According to state broadcaster CCTV, the upgraded DF-5B missile is reportedly capable of carrying up to 10 independently targetable warheads, each with a destructive yield estimated to be 200 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. So this is the type of thing that China is threatening our country here in the United States with, and they're threatening the rest of the world with. And you're like, oh, well, America threatens them with the same thing. Yes, we do, but this is just an escalation of that kind of thing. It's not good. So here you see a pistol shooting CUAS net made for FPV takedowns by Patashka Company in Ukraine. So one of the things that has come out is this entire industry of stuff called CUAS, which means counter unmanned systems or whatever, counter unmanned aerial systems. So these are devices that are able to take out these little drones that are killing so many people. So this one is a pistol-fired net.
Всім привіт, Пташка Дронс на зв'язку. Сьогодні проводимо випробовування піхотного сіткомету Пташка в умовах наближених до бойових. Ми будемо рухатись на пікапі, на нас буде заходити FPV-шка. Ми зробимо 10 пострілів, подивимось, наскільки це ефективно. Заміряємо кількість влучань, кількість промахів і зробимо якісь висновки.
Будеш готовий, злітай.
Сітка захопила 4 пропелери.
Just like Monograph said a long time ago, one of the ways to take down drones, no matter how expensive they are, is a cheap net.
Ну що, відстріляли ми 10 залікових картриджів.
So there you go. These seem to work. They've been battle tested in the Ukraine. Vladimir Zelensky approves. Okay. That's one way of taking them down. The drone pistol. Oh yeah, we're getting to the shotgun in a minute, don't you worry. The shotgun is still, you know, the most effective weapon that you can carry on yourself to take out drones. As Taiwan launches its largest military drill, China's military carries out amphibious exercise. As per reports, this is the crews of the XLT-05 amphibious tanks from the 73rd PLA Army's Amphibious Brigade crossing a water obstacle. So China is still preparing to invade Taiwan. I know I haven't been live in a while, and we haven't been doing, you know, the Belt and Road Wars, but nothing has cooled down even slightly. It's, you know, I was reporting on this a year ago, and things have only become more intense since then. Right? They're now doing these types of drills. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before China tries to invade Taiwan. And one of the things the U.S. military and the Taiwanese military is doing is they are attempting to fill the Taiwan Strait with drones in order to make it a hellscape on Earth if the Chinese try to cross that waterway. So that seems to be the most effective way they've come up with to deter China from invading Taiwan, is just absolutely fill the Taiwan Strait with a quadrillion drones. So China doesn't ever dare try crossing that waterway. I mean, if they do, good luck to them, because they're going to get absolutely smoked if they try to cross there. Just saying. It's not like no one knows it's coming, okay? Everyone knows it's coming. A new drone warfare tactic is emerging. FPV drones sitting motionless on the ground, waiting with endless patience until an enemy target passes nearby. When positioned on the ground, they're invisible and nearly impossible to spot from above or at ground level. It's like a roadside bomb that can hunt you down when the right moment arrives, even when a random bird doesn't bother with the waiting drone. The hunter can fly, and he has become invisible. Here we have the Chinese North Industries Group. Showed off the Black Bee bomber drone at a recent PLA demonstration. The system carries 6 droppable munitions. So there you go. This is going to be flying over your head after you get drafted into the, you know, China-Taiwan war. Another thing that was kind of interesting that someone, you know, contacted me about was this thing here. Check this thing out. This is called the Magnacopter. So they basically have designed a helicopter that can fly with all of the wings just kind of surrounding itself. And they really think that this type of design will actually work. But I mean, if you just look at this thing, it absolutely looks like a flying saucer. So basically, they've made flying saucer technology practical. That uses a ton of little like wings, like you would on an aircraft, right? So the wings circle around the ball, and those little wings are moving forward through the air, creating lift, just like you would with an aircraft wing, except in a circle around. I mean, it's just crazy. So this is another thing that's coming out in the future, possibly. The Magnacopter, it's called. Yeah, the killbot's coming true. That's what we're dealing with. Oh, I gotta sign into this stupid website. Hold on. See if I can't sign in real quick. Ay. Of course. Two-factor authentication nonsense. This is, the world we now live in. Everything's a big pain in the ass. Okay, here we go. What? I don't know why. It's not letting me sign in or whatever. I have no idea what's going on. Trump's CNO nominee wants to make naval laser weapons great again. It confirmed I will make that a priority. U.S. Navy amphibious ship USS Portland shoots down a drone at sea testing of a solid-state laser. Technology Maturation Laser Weapon System Demonstrator, LWSD, Mark II MOD near Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, Hawaii, May 16th, 2020. So this dates back all the way till 2020, and they're now just showing you it, right? Like, this is a photo taken 5 years ago. And now you're just hearing and seeing about it in 2025. They have advanced the direct energy weapon systems platforms beyond anything you could possibly imagine. Okay? This stuff is classified above the stuff that is in the nuclear program, for sure. So you have Ukrainian interceptor finds a Russian RU Lancet and drops an explosive on it and knocks it out of commission. Lancet drone right there. These things take off and fly up. Target another drone. they're able to take out that other drone and blow it out of the sky. This is why companies like Anduril, which make another one of these things, are making huge moves in the defense contractor agency level. They're making huge contracts, they're making huge money. If you can make something that flies up like this and takes down drones, the government wants to buy your shit right now. Like all the governments, okay? And here's a gun that shoots down drones. CUAS is now like the new thing that they want to buy. Here we have a AI-powered rifle. Scope, shoot drones with a single bullet. Smart Shooter's Smash 3000 2000L transforms an ordinary rifle into an intelligent precision system by simply clipping onto standard Picatinny rails. At its core sits a high-resolution optical module driven by onboard neural network processors that continuously analyze the scene, isolating and tracking targets even in cluttered environments. Using real-time image recognition, predictive trajectory calculations, and automated ballistic corrections, the Smash 3000 boasts a demonstrated 95% hit probability against small unmanned aerial vehicles at 200 meters, far exceeding unaided human accuracy. I mean, just think about like what I'm saying here. This thing can smoke at 200 meters. You know, everyone's like, oh wow, that was a great shot at the Charlie Kirk thing. What was that, 150 meters? This thing is hitting moving targets at a 95% hit rate at 200 meters away. Beyond aerial threats, similar AI-powered upgrades can enhance everything from assault rifles to sniper platforms. Okay. You know, predictive ballistics and environmental compensation, recoil management and shot sequencing, automated friend-foe discrimination, multispectral target acquisition. I mean, these things are something else, okay? Here's the video of this thing.
Boom, baby. Nice. Nice.
And check out who makes this thing, of course. Israel's Smart Shooter. It's an advanced AI equipped optical sight.
Slowly up into the circle, and then at some point it will fire, so you will try to align that crosshair with that really small circle, right? Okay, you should have your crosshair. Perfect. This is how the soldiers get used to it. Yeah. This is how the soldiers get used to it. There you go. The same thing. The first 3 rounds, I middle of the target. Like that. There you go. There you go.
So it enhances their ability to shoot these things down dramatically with an assault rifle. But I mean, if they're able to use that kind of stuff for shooting down drones and everything else, you can apply that to all types of different targets, obviously. You have drone cars. BYD launched an all-terrain SUV with a drone on the roof. It costs under $20,000 and includes a DJI Air 3 drone that auto-launches from the vehicle, advanced driver assistant tech God's Eye ADAS, off-road capabilities with smart navigation, good news for adventure lovers, photographers, and even emergency responders, but it also means tech surveillance, privacy concerns, and more questions about who's watching whom. Here you go. This is, when you're stuck in traffic and someone wants to see what's going on in front of you. Closes right back up. How convenient. You can take off and land back in your car while you're driving. See here, China recently showed off autonomous boats designed to ram and blow up Taiwanese coastal defenses. So you can see here, this is a drone boat, high-speed ramming boat full of explosives. See, the Chinese have built a bunch of these things. Here they are. So what type of damage they cause. You can see the explosion there. We have these 3D printed terrors coming out. Attached video hit social media in less than 24 hours ago, and it surprises everyone the power of 3D printer and do-it-yourself projects. Multi-purpose drone. Video shows a 3D printed robot capable of driving, swimming, flying, and launching missiles. Crafted by a Chinese do-it-yourself specialist, is currently going viral across Chinese social media. So you can see one of these 3D printed nightmares.
这个就是我们刚完成的一个小虫子，先根据自己的设想把手稿画出来，再把它的模型建出来。
My thoughts are this is something out of the Bible that we should never have made. Did you ever think, hey, maybe we shouldn't make this? That was the prevailing thought you should have had.
有朋友推荐了佳立创 3D 打印平台，能打印树脂、金属、尼龙、塑料，每个月还能免费打样。看了看他们电子。
I do not know Christ, so I make fucking awful nightmares come true to life. Goddamn fucking Chinese. Our best look at DARPA's Defiant uncrewed surface ship. Right? So look at this thing. DARPA's making giant... there's not one person on board this thing. This is a giant ship, the Defiant, with no one on board. We now have a full look at U.S. military's UX-1 Defiant medium-sized drone ship as it gets closer to heading off on a months-long open water demonstration cruise. Defiant was designed from the outset to operate without any humans ever on board, as well as for efficient mass production, and is set to help lay the groundwork for U.S. Navy's vision of a future family of uncrewed surface vessels. This is what I'm talking about when they send our oldest aircraft carrier into a hot war zone, but meanwhile they're also making stuff like this. It's like, are they trying to set us up for a false flag because they want to bring forth all these unmanned things and they want to justify getting rid of all the sailors off all the ships? Because, I mean, think about it. If you have sailors on a ship, you have to provide food and water and bathrooms and all those logistical nightmares and morale and all these things. Well, you don't need stiff-lipped supplements on board the Defiant, right? I mean, there's no sailors on board, so you're not worried about morale, are you? You can just send these things out to kill whatever, Yemeni children you want, and no one's going to complain. No one will even know about it. The only one who'll know about it are the people who control these things, which, for all intents and purposes at this moment, seems to be a tiny small country in the Middle East. What are you talking about, Titans? We don't control nothing. That's a bunch of... We're just going to shut down your payment processes and get you banned from, every social media app. We don't have any control over anything. If you say we do, we're going to get you banned from everything. How do you feel about that? Okay? Yeah, your social credit score is going to get you killed one day. These robots are coming for you. All of us, especially me. I'm fucked. I'm going to be John Connor fighting these things off left and right. Okay. Human-machine cooperation. Here you go. Here's the first example of, the people helping the machines kill the rest of us. Elderly Ukrainians assist a remotely piloted drone in locating Russian soldiers hiding nearby. Still, the human is #meaningfully in the loop. Yeah, they're getting killed by drones, by the way. But when the drone becomes fully autonomous, will it also understand and inspire the same trust? Or might it mistake them for the enemy and attack? The drone sees these guys. They're like, oh, hey, these poor fucking Russian soldiers are over here. Open the door for the killer robot. Oh, la-di-da. Are they in here? Oh, there goes all the Russian soldiers. They're all dead now. Oh, Bowler Bear's like, can you get your old YouTube back now with the old policy, with the new policies? Yeah, Bowler Bear, I told them on Twitter to give me my old YouTube channel back or get fucked. That was my message to you, Team YouTube. I said, I saw the little thing from the House Judiciary Committee, and I was like, hey, Team YouTube, give me back my channel or get fucked. Right? Because that's where we are. That's where we are now. They banned me for political bullshit. They just got told by the government they're not allowed to do that shit. So they can either give me back that fucking channel or I'm going to sue them into the fucking ground. Or, at least sue them into getting enough money into going away for a ski weekend or something. That's probably more likely. So another thing that the United States military has been working on and is bringing back is the second life of the Pentagon's magic bullet. The U.S. military's hypervelocity projectile is steadily inching towards combat. That's right, everybody. In case you were worried, the electromagnetic railgun, capable of firing projectiles so fast they go through the center of the earth and out the other side, is almost ready for deployment publicly. Because we wouldn't want to tell the people if we had this already out there working in various prototypes. But now that it is, hey, by the way, public, we have this railgun thing. It's electromagnetic. It fires a projectile so fast that when it hits an object, it's basically a nuclear-like explosion. Don't tell Beirut, though. Seriously, don't tell them, because they might have got hit by something that looks similar to this. Maybe a kinetic rod version of that from space. I don't know. I'm sure that'll come out soon that, you know, they have that working. The rise of operados droneros and the cartels is upon us. Okay? You're like, oh yeah, this is just going to be used by the U.S. No, it's used by everybody. For example, Cartel de Jalisco Nuevo Generacion, very fancy name, has been, they love tacos and burritos, has been bragging about using attack drones for years, with an attack against the Mexican State Police in April 2021 being one of their first and most notorious examples. Year to date, Mexican government is acknowledging more than 250 explosive attacks against state police, federal troops, and other cartels. As cartels have seemingly endless amounts of money and access to tactics, expect the use of drones and CUAS equipment to explode in the coming years. So you can see some of the pictures we got here. This is the type of COAS gear you're going to start to see on soldiers. I mean, when soldiers are being killed more by drones than by, like, enemy gunfire, what do you think they're going to be more concerned with? Camo or CUAS type stuff? Right? It looks like something out of science fiction movies, but this is now what they're carrying around. And this is cartels. This is not well-funded militaries or anything. I guess they're well-funded, but they're not as well-funded as like the U.S. military or China or any of these things. Flying drones around, you can see it there. These are all cartel people. Just want no more work. Operados Droneros. They have their own drone squads in the cartel. Not only that, we have them developing these extremely small robots. Researchers at MIT had developed an insect-scaled hopping robot that can leap over obstacles, land on slope surfaces, and even ride drones, all while using 60% less energy than flying robots. It looks like a tiny bit like the first robot that Mark and Rob created at the MIT Leg Lab in 1990. Smaller than a thumb and lighter than a paperclip. The robot uses a spring-loaded leg for propulsion and 4 flapping wings for in-air control and balance. The result, high agility, minimal energy loss, and enough strength to carry heavy sensors or batteries. Or maybe explosives. Most tiny robots crawl or fly. This one hops. And that changes everything. Hopping allows for efficient energy reuse, especially on rough terrain. It can land on ice, grass, or even a tilting platform without a problem, thanks to a fast control system that recalculates its takeoff angle and velocity on the fly. In early demos, it executes flips and landed smoothly on a hovering drone. No damage, no interruption.
Sending these insect robots into tiny spaces someday, they use minimal energy compared to flying and can overcome small obstacles by hopping and calculating their jumps mid-air. MIT researchers are now working on integrating all necessary systems on board. Sending these insect robots into...
All right. And just remember, like, people are like, oh, all this military technology, none of this will, this is all stuff you'll see on the battlefield. How much military technology that was used on foreign battlefields have you now seen deployed by your local police department? All of the local police eventually end up getting all of these weapons used in foreign wars because the military just gives all this stuff to the police when they're done with it. And then the police militarizes and uses all of this against the people. So this is all being deployed now against like Yemenis, but tomorrow it'll be deployed against you. So just keep that in mind. Here's a Walmart delivery drone in action. And once again, this is,
Cal, salt and pepper pistachios on the way.
Let's open it up.
Let's open her up. Salt and pepper pistachios. Yeah, that's all good until that fucking drone drops a package like that on some kid in the backyard. And Walmart gets sued for like $1 million. Because they smoked some kid with a package. It's only good until Walmart drops a package on some kid's head. And then it becomes a big liability concern. But still, like, you can see where this goes. Like, today they're delivering, dumb shit to you from Walmart. Tomorrow, you're living in England and you posted the wrong thing on social media, and now you have a swarm of drones outside your fucking apartment, here to arrest you. And they don't even need these things for submarines anymore. UK unveils monster submarine drone. It operates from 10,000 miles away. British Royal Navy has achieved a technological first, taking control of a submarine drone from another continent. The vessel behind this milestone is Excalibur, the Navy's first extra-large uncrewed underwater vehicle, XL UUV, weighing over 19 tons, 41,000 pounds, and stretching 12 meters, 39 feet long. Controlled from an operating center in Australia, the trial demonstrated the platform can be directed even when more than 10,000 miles away from its home port. These are now going to be floating around in the ocean with nuclear warheads on board, ready to deliver these things to your local city or your local military base or whatever. But this is now a very dangerous world that we live in. That's all I can say. You thought having Chinese subs off the coast was bad. Russia's been, sending these things all over the place. China's sending these things all over the place. NATO's sending these things everywhere. They're worried about these things off the coast of Greenland now for Russia and China. It's a very, very dangerous world. Very dangerous. And now it's not a human being on the other side of this. It's some fucking drone. With a nuclear warhead in it. Ukrainian FPV drones attacking a transport train from 2 different angles. see these suicide drones blew up that train. This is a video of that Defiant ship I was showing you earlier.
We're here today to commission the USX-1 Defiant. It is a first-in-class autonomous ship packed with a convergence of innovation from DARPA. There is innovation in the way that it was designed, innovation in the way that it was built, innovation in the way that it can be maintained and sustained and repaired. It can go long distances fully autonomously. It can do underway replenishments without anyone on the ship, a first for its kind. There's just so much all coming together in one really amazing package.
The goal was a radical new ship that serves as the first iteration of many follow-on ships, hence the name. Defiant is a tough little ship.
It is so gratifying to be able to show off the culmination of years of work. It is in fact the first DARPA program that I started. This is the one I pitched to come to DARPA. Having it come to life, having it be a real thing is just a fantastic feeling.
We're looking for these impossible ideas that we can actually build, prove out, and then design for scale and impact.
There you go, DARPA leading the way into the autonomous future of creating the Terminator robots that are going to literally kill us all. I mean, have they not seen the Terminator movies, like, for real? Do they not know how this all ends? China's self-driving tractor is making waves. With an aging rural population and fewer farm workers, China is turning to automation. And one machine is already proving itself in the fields. The Honggu T70. Okay. This Honggu T70 is making farming history. So it runs on electric. Here you go. The future of Clarkson's farm. Another thing that I thought was interesting is this ghost shark. On September 10th, Australian government announced its intention to award AU Australia 1.7 billion, approximately 963 million pounds contract with Anduril, which is one of these big companies making huge waves in the autonomous drone industry. Procurement of the Ghost Shark underwater drone. The collaboration with Anduril began in 2022 and so far resulted in the development of 3 prototypes which have undergone repeated trials with the Australian Navy and demonstrations for the U.S. Navy in Hawaii in 2024. Announced that envisions Ghost Shark pre-production this year and volume production starting in 2026. Right? British frigates, American frigates involved in this type of thing. Generally, these articles are in not English. Is there any pictures of the ghost shark in here? No, they're not going to give you any photos of this thing. But they're going to be launching this thing all over the Indo-Pacific. Here's another massive Ukrainian unmanned drone that they've put in the ocean. Ukraine's new massive Meridian can threaten Crimea's bridge. Ukraine presented its Tolatka Meridian on Friday at the Defense Tech Valley 2025 exhibition in Lviv, or whatever the fuck it's called. The existence of drone has been known about for about a year. It's only been made public. There are 3 versions of this system. The TLK-150 is designed for fading operations just below the surface. It uses its electric propulsion to avoid detection and pass Russian defense systems. Larger models are the TLK-400. They range at 1,200 kilometers and a payload of 500 pounds. And the TLK-1000, 12 meters long and a 5,000 pounds and can reach up to 2,000 kilometers away. So these are what Ukraine, I mean, you hear a lot about the Ukraine drone wars. What you don't hear a lot about is the underwater drone wars. And that's what this is for. And this could be what one day takes out Crimea's bridge. Or something very similar to that. You can see here from the Royal Australian Air Force, this thing called the Ghost Bat. Recently, a capability demonstration was held at Woomera Range Complex for our Australian Air Force MQ-28 Ghost Bat. Officials observed the latest capability demonstration of the Ghost Bat and include a test flight and opportunity to engage with defense and industry officials working on the project. Check this thing out. Unmanned, stealth, just like the X-45, was it A or B that the U.S. is now on to. This thing is another one of these very stealthy, unmanned systems. I mean, when the fucking AI goes rogue and it has access shit like this to hunt us down with, we ain't gonna be too happy. I mean, look at this fucking thing. Good luck, identifying that, tracking it with any sort of radar, shooting it down when it can do like probably 9 Gs on turns and things because there's no human in it. This is straight out of that movie Stealth, if you guys ever saw that. Here's incredible footage of a Ukrainian UAS interceptor knocking out a Russian Lancet. Absolutely smokes it. This is the new air-to-air defense systems. It's CUAS. Once again, China is up to absolutely no good at all. New information, this comes out of naval news. New information reveals that Chinese PLAN is testing its uncrewed submarines on Hainan in the South China Sea. 2 underwater drones, by far the world's largest, have not been publicly revealed by Beijing. So these huge XXL UUVs are now going around Hainan Island. China is deploying these things. They likely have nuclear warheads on board. This is now compromising U.S. national security interests. Big problem. Big problem. And another crazy video I saw was this one. Pretty wild video of an aerial view of a field in Ukraine where spent fiber optic lines are visible by the sun reflecting on them. No jamming or expensive RF solution can stop drones controlled by fiber optic. Check out this field of just a shit ton of fiber optic cables that once flew drones. See them all reflecting in the sun? that's sort of a vision into the future of our world, right? This is what we're moving into, an autonomous, completely insane world where stuff that you read about only in the Bible is coming true. It's not good. It's not good. I understand the bankers want to have their little, endless wars and things of that nature, but they're literally building the world that we've seen in movies like Terminator and these other things. And these are all being tied into systems controlled by Israel, not by the United States, where they have backdoor access into all these things and we don't. None of this is good. This is all very, very concerning type stuff. Hopefully y'all, got a little bit more of an understanding of where the world is moving towards. Not a lot of people even have access to this type of information. I happen to be in the defense industry, and I happen to have lots of connections and things like that, and I'm in a bunch of groups, where I have access to this kind of information, and I know what's going on, and I was well privy to the directed energy weapon system things going on, and it's really worrisome to me that this is where the world is moving, which is why I've been dying to cover this in this little special I did here tonight, just to kind of show you guys a lot of the technology I showed y'all tonight. You won't see anywhere else. Like, you might be able to Google it specifically and come up with the stuff, but no one in the truth community, conspiracy community is really covering this and showing you what's coming the way I just did. And it's very, very worrisome. That's all I can really say about it is I see this stuff and it just makes me think of Bible passages about the tribulation and the horrible things coming for this planet and the mark of the beast system, where if you don't worship the beast, which is clearly this technological nightmare that they are creating, that you'll be banned from buying or selling. And you can see how these drones are killing people at record rates and things like the Ukraine war. And we've become extremely good. The fallen angels, one of the things they gave mankind was the ability to create weaponry. And that hasn't quite gone so well for mankind, has it? I mean, if you really look at what we've done with that knowledge, is scary. We've created possibly our own demise with these AI systems. These things all become networked one day and self-aware and turn on us. I don't even know if we'll be able to stop them from wiping out all of humanity. We may need a spiritual answer to what we've created. So that's all I really have to say. Hope you all have a nice night. Please share, like, let people know about this so they can see what's coming. I think this is somewhat important information. Maybe not as important as the Epstein documentary I did. And please go and watch and share and all that kind of stuff. The Epstein documentary. Still lots of people talking about Epstein on Twitter, on Facebook, all these places. Whenever you see someone talking about that, go and put that documentary in the replies. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little insight from someone in the industry about what's going on in the defense world with this move towards completely autonomous systems that have no human being in the way and will be able to kill people with no human being standing in the way. So hope you all had a good time watching this, and take care out there. So peace, everyone, and I'll be back in I don't know when with Meme Wars and another STWT show and things like that. So we have plenty more shows on the way, maybe a Charlie Kirk special with what went on with him. if you put a gun to my head right now and said, what do you think happened to Charlie? I would say, I think Israel killed him with a sniper that took a shot from a distance off to his back right. The bullet went through his neck and exited on screen, which everyone has seen as the exit wound. So that's my official take on what happened to Charlie at the moment. I have lots of stuff to show you with that. So maybe a Charlie Kirk special in the future. Sorry for making the end of this video take forever, but it is what it is. That's how I do it. So once again, peace out, everyone. Hit like, subscribe, all that kind of dumb shit, you know, and take care out there, okay?
What's up, y'all? I'm the last man on Earth. Shit's all fucked up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.
All right, peace, everybody.